Hello everybody, it's the Time Traveler, and today I'm going to show you my periodic table collection. I've been collecting elements for about 2 months now, and some of these are not pure. I just try to get something that contains the element. First off, we have lithium. I got lithium batteries from remotes or laser pointers you can get them from, but that was an example of lithium. Then we move all the way back here to carbon. For carbon, I have graphite from the middle of the pencil, or the pencil lead. For oxygen, I have quartz, and it contains oxygen and silicon. And now we're going to move all the way to sodium. For sodium, I put some soap in there, which contained a lot of forms of sodium. And now we're going to have to move back over here to aluminum. Aluminum, I got pieces from a broken piston, which also can contain scandium. For silicon, I have silicon crystals from a solar panel. Phosphorus is actually a mixture of, this white part is phosphorus, potassium, and sulfur. So for sulfur, I have sulfur mixed with lead and a little bit iron. It's just a little bit magnetic. Okay, next I have chlorine, and it's just table salt that I put in a container. Next I have argon, and it's used inside these little tubes because they're non-reactive gas. Then, on to the next row. So for potassium is a match, because they do contain potassium and phosphorus, along with other elements. Calcium is just a little shell, and scandium is the same one I used for the aluminum sample, but it's used in the piston to help strengthen the element to the piston. Titanium is a little bit titanium inside of this, but now we have vanadium, which is a really thin vanadium wire, which I got the sample from a little electrical component. Chromium is a chrome-plated items. Stainless steel. Manganese actually can be found in batteries and these little insides surrounding it, which gives it a little powder. Iron. I just found these outside. They're magnetic. They're little pieces of iron. Cobalt, a cobalt magnet, and a piece of cobalt. Well, a mineral that contains cobalt. Oh, the nickel sticking to the cobalt magnet. Nickel is actually a Canadian coin, which they do make their Canadian coins out of nickel and other elements. Copper is just copper wire and little pieces of copper plates. Okay, and for zinc, I have a key, which does contain zinc, and a little glob of zinc that you get from putting molten zinc into water, cold water. Gallium is an LED because they use them to code the pieces of metal inside of here. Same thing for selenium over here. For arsenic, I just use a laser pointer, which it does contain atoms of arsenic to make the color. Selenium is the same thing I use for gallium. It's a LED because it's coated with selenium. Bromine is brominated film, and krypton is a light bulb from a flashlight, which does contain krypton and argon. Now going back to the next row, I have rubidium, and this only contains a few atoms inside of it. Strontium is a piece of geode, and they can be found strontium and barium inside of it. Yttrium is a crystal right over here, and a laser. For zirconium, I just used some deodorant, which has aluminum and zirconium inside of it. And then for molybdenum, right over here, I use a stainless steel because they contain 2% molybdenum inside of them. Ruthenium, apparently these chips do contain small amounts of ruthenium inside of them, and for rhodium is copper plated with rhodium. For silver is a coin, which is made in 1964, which means it is 90% silver, and you can see a little bit right here, there's a little tarnish. Okay. For cadmium, I used a nickel cadmium battery. I took the label off because I was about to take it apart until I realized that cadmium was a little bit dangerous to work with. It's probably as dangerous as lead. For cadmium, I also have a battery, which is a rechargeable battery that you can use in a RC car. For indium, I have a screen from a calculator. For tin is a pipe with tin tin on it, along with these little pieces of tin. Right here. Antimony. I have antimony makeup here and plated antimony on here. For tellurium is a disc because it has tellurium oxide on top of it. We are at the lanthanide series, and first one up is neodymium. Neodymium is a neodymium magnet, which you can get from headphones, speakers. I got this one from a broken car. For samarium, it's just a bit of samarium inside of here, but it's cobalt magnet, but they do use a little bit of samarium inside of it. And now we are going to the end of the lanthanides. For first one up is tantalum, and tantalum can be found inside of electrical components. And I'm going to pick a little bit piece up. This is tantalum. And for tungsten, I use tungsten carbide, which they're in those little balls. I don't know if you can see them, but it's there. Okay. For now we have gold, but gold is just plated in there to prevent corrosion. For mercury, I have a mercury battery right here, but it's leaking a bit. Thallium I don't have. Lead is the last one, and I don't want to touch it, but I have a bunch of lead crystals here in this part, in this little container, and that is my collection of elements.